This is wild. The Phoenix Suns are planning on bringing in Bronny James. That's right, the son of LeBron James. Bronny James, they're planning on bringing him in for a pre-draft workout ahead of this upcoming NBA draft. This is mind-blowing considering the fact that all we've been hearing from Matt Ishbia and James Jones is essentially F them draft picks. So we are going to look into this report and the possibility of Bronny James becoming a Phoenix Suns and what that could potentially also mean in terms of some other legendary superstar potentially coming to the Valley. My name is CJ Pierre. This is Suns Digest, and we noticed that you guys are doing a great job watching our videos, but about 92% of you guys that are watching haven't yet subscribed yet. We want you to keep watching, that is for sure. But if you want to make sure you're keeping up with the latest, all the news, all the rumors, all the reporting that's going to be happening with the Phoenix Suns this offseason, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with all the stuff that we're going to be cooking up for you guys over the course of this summer, heading in to the beginning of next season. So let's get right into it. The Suns planning to work out Bronny James for a pre-draft workout ahead of this upcoming NBA draft. Now, we talked about the possibility of the Suns looking into possibly drafting LeBron James, but it was just a flyer at the time, just something that we just thought we threw out there as a possibility. There are a ton of really good point guard prospects in this upcoming NBA draft. Bronny James, not necessarily at the top of the list, but it sounds like the Suns, at the very least, are going to try and do their best to take a look. This reporting coming from Shams with The Athletic. He's saying that the Phoenix Suns will conduct a workout with Bronny James ahead of the June NBA draft, according to his sources. Now, as we all know, Phoenix has the 22nd overall pick, and apparently Bronny James is one of those players under consideration. Now, Bronny has over 10 workout invites, but he's expected to only visit a few of those teams, and two of those teams that Shams is saying that Bronny will visit are the Los Angeles Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. Whoa, okay? Like I said, mind-blowing, okay? Bronny James, one of the most high-profile figures in this particular NBA draft, possibly landing in Phoenix. It's crazy to think about, but if you try and look at where Bronny ranks compared to the rest of the prospects in this draft, it's not far-fetched that the Phoenix Suns could grab him. If they want to, they can grab him with the 22nd overall pick. Bronny James is not expected to be a first-round pick. In fact, if you take a look at ESPN's latest mock draft following the NBA draft combine, they are projecting that Bronny James actually gets drafted by the Boston Celtics, one pick ahead of his dad's team, the Los Angeles Lakers. What kind of irony would that be if the Celtics, the Lakers' longtime rivals, draft the son of their current star player, LeBron James? That is just kind of a crazy thought to look at. But again, if you look at that, that is a late second overall pick that ESPN has Bronny James being selected to. So there is a possibility that the Phoenix Suns may just take a reach and take him with that 22nd pick, or they can trade down, use that first round pick and gather more draft capital, maybe pick up a second round pick and draft Bronny later if that's what they want to do. So there's tons of possibilities, tons of things that could potentially happen. So let's take a look at Bronny James as a draft prospect. So we're going to take a look at his draft profile, what some reports are in terms of how he projects onto the NBA level, and then we're going to see what kind of fit that has for the Phoenix Suns. So now if we look at Bronny James, he spent his freshman year at USC, didn't get a lot of playing time, as we know. Before the college season started, he had that health issue in terms of going into cardiac arrest. He was out for a long time before he was finally able to get on the court and log some playing time. Not much, as we can see. He only averaged about 4.8 points per game, 2.8 rebounds per game, and 2.1 assists per game. Bronny projects as more of a combo guard, not necessarily a true point guard, but he was listed at about 6'4" in college. So ideally, he's got some size, he's got the athleticism to be a solid combo guard in the NBA, and then he ended up going to the NBA draft combine, and there were some mixed reporting in terms of his reviews and what people thought about him at the draft combine and the way that he performed. Some say that he improved his draft stock. Others say that he struggled a lot. You take a look at this report, this coming from the USA Today, and saying that Bronny James started the week measuring at 6 feet 1.5 inches, which is shorter than that 6'4" USC listed him as. That's giving teams a lot to consider according to this reporting. But they did say that he had the sixth best vertical leap at 40.5 inches. And the top mark was 42 inches. So that's pretty impressive. That just shows his explosiveness and his athleticism. They also say that he excelled in on-the-move shooting drill, making 19 of 25 shots, finishing second overall and first among the shooting guards. So that's just a little bit of the expectations that Bronny had, when he was performing with the other draft prospects at the NBA Combine. He was able to show off some of his athleticism, but he also showed that he is undersized. He's only about 6'1.5" without shoes on. So throw on the shoes. What does that put him at? Maybe 6'2", 6'2.5". He's gonna be definitely an undersized combo guard. Now he's got some draft NBA comps, a lot of players that are in the league right now that he are comparing him to. He's getting some comparisons to Miles McBride from the New York Knicks, Davion Mitchell with the Sacramento Kings, someone who the Suns might also want to look at trying to acquire this offseason. But he's got some comps of players who not necessarily the greatest shooters, a little undersized, but have athleticism, are solid defenders, are able to get in passing lanes, change things up, and could become viable NBA players. And that's something that could happen to Bronny James as well. But when it comes with Bronny James and the idea of adding him to your team, of course, that brings about the talk about LeBron James. Could LeBron be taking his talents to the Valley? Kind of a similar take on when he took his talents to South Beach way back when he joined the Miami Heat. Could LeBron actually become a Phoenix Sun? Now, LeBron has, there's been the reporting in the past that LeBron has mentioned that he wants to end up playing with his son, Bronny James, become the first father-son duo to play together in the NBA. That's something that he's talked about. That's something that's been reported on. That's something that is something that's on his mind. There have been other reports, particularly coming from Bronny's side, that that's not his goal. He's not trying to play with his dad. And there have been all this speculation that, the Lakers are going to draft Bronny to make sure they can keep LeBron. LeBron has a player option. That's something that, so that could allow him to go where he wants. So let's put this into reality. Could LeBron James really become Phoenix Suns if Phoenix drafts Bronny? So let's start there. Could Phoenix draft Bronny? Yes. If they decide to keep their draft pick and draft him with the 22nd overall pick, that's a possibility. They could trade down, draft him in the second round with a later pick. That's also a possibility. I don't foresee it coming from what Matt Ishbia and James Jones have talked about in terms of, those draft picks being available and open for trading. They're going to try and make moves to, around the margins as a second apron team. So that is where we talk about LeBron James. So even if the Suns did draft Bronny, what the likelihood would be for LeBron to become a Phoenix Sun, and that also isn't likely. That LeBron would have to either opt out of his contract and sign a veteran minimum deal with the Phoenix Suns. It's LeBron James. He ain't signing no veteran minimum, guys. Let's just get that out the way. So it would have to be a situation where he picks up his player option and then is traded. Now, there are some salaries that are very close to LeBron's name. Bradley Beal, one of those possibilities. Kevin Durant is up there, but I feel like that would be less likely. I feel like if LeBron was going to come to Phoenix, play with the Sun, he'd want to make sure another top 10 player like Kevin Durant was there, along with Devin Booker. Bradley Beal would be the guy. But Bradley Beal has a no trade clause. So if he doesn't want to go to LA where LeBron won't be, Bradley Beal is not going to let it happen. Then there's the second apron rules, the fact that the contracts have to line up specifically. So LeBron James makes slightly more than Bradley Beal does, so the Suns would have to add more players to that trade, and they can't do that because they're a second apron team. So now we're talking about the possibility of sign-in trades, and that's a whole nother, crazy thing. Would LeBron opt out, sign a contract that matches up Bradley Beal's money? Bradley Beal waives his no trade clause. There's just a ton of different things out there that would have to make that happen. All in all, I think the possibility of the Suns drafting Bronny, while I think they're unlikely, much more feasible, especially given this reporting that the Suns may be one of the few teams that Bronny actually works out for. It shows that the Suns actually have genuine interest in him. LeBron coming to Phoenix alongside Bronny, that's a completely different story. I feel like that's going to be next to impossible without LeBron just saying, I'm just going to opt out of my deal and sign a veteran minimum contract. I also don't see the Lakers really just going for that. They're definitely not going to want to lose LeBron for nothing. It's LeBron James we're talking about here, but it is a wild, wild theory a wild, wild thought, and just with legitimate reporting saying that the Suns are interested in Bronny. They're going to work him out. Bronny is interested in few teams, Suns being one of them. It is just a crazy scenario to think, could that lead to LeBron in Phoenix? Look, anything is possible. Kevin Garnett told us that. But do I believe it is going to be a reality? Hey, time's going to tell. You guys, really, I'm just talking over here at this point. We want to know what you guys think. Go down in the comments below and let us know what you think. Should the Phoenix Suns draft Bronny James? Do you think that LeBron will come to Phoenix? Do you want LeBron in Phoenix? Do you want Bronny in Phoenix? Anything you guys want to talk about, hit the comments below and let us know, and we can continue to keep the dialogue going and then see what happens. It's going to be an exciting ride. I can't wait for the upcoming NBA draft to figure out what the Suns are going to do. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys want to make sure you're keeping up with everything we've got going on, remember, just make sure you hit that subscribe button. All the videos that we've got in the past, any ones that we're going to have cooking up for the future, you'll be the first to know. All right, with that, my name is CJ Pierre. This has been great. I'll catch you guys next time, and go Phoenix Suns.